In 1977, the United States Army sent Colonel Charles Beckwith to create America's first dedicated counterterrorism unit. His orders were simple: build something like the British SAS. What he built was something far more brutal, and the British weren't happy about it. The SAS invented modern special forces selection in 1950. The concept was revolutionary. Don't test physical strength, test mental endurance. The SAS selection course breaks candidates through isolation, exhaustion, and impossible navigation tasks across Welsh mountains. No instructors, no guidance, just a map, coordinates, and consequences for failure. Most candidates quit before they're kicked out. That was the genius. Self-selection through suffering. When Beckwith returned from his exchange tour with 22 SAS Regiment in the 1960s, he understood something critical. America had nothing like this. U.S. Special Forces tested combat skills and physical fitness. The SAS tested something deeper: the ability to operate alone, under pressure, with zero support. The capacity to make life-or-death decisions when exhausted and isolated. The psychological resilience to continue when every fiber of your body screams to quit. In 1977, Beckwith got permission to build Delta Force. His first move? Copy SAS selection exactly. Phase 1. Physical and psychological screening. Phase 2. Endurance march across mountains with increasing weight. Phase 3. Stress interviews and psychological evaluation. But here's where it gets interesting. The British SAS took the best infantry soldiers and put them through selection. Delta Force took the best Special Forces operators and put them through selection. Green Berets who survived 18 months of training. Army Rangers who completed Ranger School. Navy SEALs who survived BUD/S and Hell Week. These weren't recruits. These were already elite operators, and Delta broke most of them anyway. The SAS selection pass rate is roughly 10%. Delta Force selection pass rate is 5 to 8%. Why? Because Beckwith added something the British didn't have: the unknown distance march. In SAS selection, candidates know the distances. Brutal but measurable. In Delta selection, candidates are never told how far they're marching. 40 miles becomes 50. 50 becomes 60. The weight increases without warning. The time limits tighten without explanation. You're never sure if you're almost done or barely started. This destroys people psychologically. British SAS officer who observed Delta selection in the 1980s described it like this: "We break soldiers. Delta breaks warriors." The Americans took our concept and weaponized it. But the real difference isn't the physical difficulty, it's what happens after selection. SAS operators join 22 SAS Regiment and begin continuation training. Delta operators begin a 6-month operator training course that makes selection look easy. Close quarters battle, explosives, advanced driving, hostage rescue scenarios, foreign languages, escape and evasion. And here's the key: if you fail any phase of operator training, you're out. Selection got you in the door. Operator training determines if you stay. The SAS builds teams of highly capable soldiers. Delta builds individuals who can operate completely alone if necessary. Different philosophy, different wars. When the SAS needs to rescue hostages, they send a team. When Delta needs to rescue hostages, every single operator is capable of running the entire mission alone if everyone else is killed. That's not arrogance, that's doctrine. So why did Americans make Delta selection harder than SAS selection? Because they had access to better raw material. The SAS draws from the entire British Army. Delta draws from men who already survived Special Forces training. The baseline is higher, so the bar had to be higher. British SAS selection asks, can you become elite? Delta Force selection asks, are you elite enough to be more elite? Today, SAS and Delta train together regularly. They respect each other completely, but both units know the truth. The student became the master, and then the student built something the master never imagined. If you want the next deep dive on how Delta operators train after selection, subscribe now. Hit that like button if you learned something new. Comment below, which selection would you rather attempt, SAS or Delta? Thanks for watching. Stay tactical.